When you look at the United States, it's clearly massive and incredibly diverse. How do we make sense of all those differences? Geographers use the concept of a region. A region is simply any area, large or small, that is unified by a specific shared characteristic. That characteristic could be something physical, like the Rocky Mountains, or something cultural, like a shared accent or cuisine. Defining these regions is the first step in understanding the vast geography of the U.S. Why bother dividing the U.S. into regions? It's a way to simplify the complicated. Think of it like sorting laundry. You group similar items together so you can study them more easily. By creating regions, we can spot patterns. We can see why farmers in the Midwest share certain economic concerns, or why coastal states in the Pacific region often have similar environmental policies. These divisions help us analyze history, economy, and politics on a manageable scale. Let's start in the cradle of the nation, the Northeast. This region includes the small, historic New England states and the major economic powerhouses like New York and Pennsylvania. It's defined by a rocky coastline, old mountains, and a long, cold winter. Historically, this is where the United States began. It's home to the oldest cities, the first ports, and many of the original 13 colonies. The Northeast has a distinctive personality. Economically, it shifted away from the manufacturing that earned some of its areas the name Rust Belt, and is now dominated by finance, technology, and higher education. Culturally, it's one of the most densely populated and diverse parts of the country. If you've ever seen the hurried pace of New York City or the historic streets of Boston, you've experienced the unique, intense energy of the Northeast. Next, we head to the South, a region often associated with warmth and deep history. Stretching from Virginia all the way to Texas, the South is physically defined by its warm, humid, sometimes tropical climate, and large areas of flat coastal plain, which are excellent for agriculture. Historically, the South was defined by the plantation system, which led to the Civil War and the fight for civil rights, shaping the nation's history forever. The economy of the South today is a mix. While traditional agriculture remains important, the region has boomed in industries like energy, especially oil and gas in Texas and Louisiana, and major aerospace and defense industries. Culturally, the South is famous for its hospitality, unique regional cuisine, and perhaps most notably, its powerful musical heritage, giving rise to genres like blues, jazz, and country music. Right in the middle of the country is the Midwest, often called the Heartland. This region is mostly flat, blessed with some of the world's most fertile soil, and bordered by the vast Great Lakes. This is the breadbasket of America. The climate has 4 distinct seasons, which is perfect for growing large cash crops like corn and wheat, making it the agricultural engine of the entire country. The Midwest economy is all about output, not just agriculture, but also major heavy industry. Detroit earned the nickname Motor City for its role in auto manufacturing. Culturally, the region is known for being hardworking, down-to-earth, and traditional. The waterways of the Great Lakes and the mighty Mississippi River are essential for shipping those massive agricultural and industrial products out to the rest of the world. The interior West is visually defined by its massive mountains and stark beauty. This region is home to the stunning peaks of the Rocky Mountains, huge plateaus, and dry, arid deserts. Water scarcity is the biggest issue here. The states constantly grapple over water rights, especially concerning major sources like the Colorado River. This is a region of extreme temperatures and high elevation. Life in the interior West often reflects the wide open landscape. The population density is very low, and the economy is driven by activities suitable for the rugged terrain: ranching, mining, and increasingly tourism. as this region contains some of America's most famous national parks, like Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon. The culture emphasizes self-reliance and has a deep respect for the large amounts of federal land found here. Finally, we have the Pacific region, which includes the entire West Coast, plus the unique additions of Alaska and Hawaii. The physical geography is incredibly diverse. Active volcanoes in the Cascades, the vast agricultural valleys of California, and the tropical islands of Hawaii. This region is defined by its deep relationship with the Pacific Ocean and its proximity to Asia, making it a gateway for global trade. The Pacific region is a powerhouse of innovation and culture. California's Silicon Valley is the undisputed global leader in technology, while Hollywood drives the entertainment industry. The culture here often emphasizes new ideas, environmentalism, and a generally laid-back, outdoors-focused lifestyle. The region is also perhaps the most ethnically diverse, influenced heavily by centuries of immigration from Asia and Latin America. Regions aren't just defined by what's inside them, they're also shaped by their borders. Take the US-Canada border. It's the longest undefended border in the world and defines a region with highly integrated economies, especially around the Great Lakes. We share resources, trade constantly, and share many cultural similarities, especially in the northern tier of US states. In contrast, the US-Mexico border is one of the most dynamic and challenging regions in the world. It's a zone of major trade, creating jobs in manufacturing on both sides. But it also faces serious issues related to immigration and illegal drug trafficking. Culturally, this region is a true melting pot, featuring a fascinating blend of American and Hispanic traditions that defines the local food, language, and art. You'll often hear the U.S. discussed in terms of the Sun Belt and the Rust Belt. The Sun Belt refers to the growing southern and southwestern states, known for their warm weather and booming service and defense industries. The Rust Belt is the older industrial area of the Midwest and Northeast, where manufacturing jobs declined. The dramatic population shift from the older, colder Rust Belt to the warmer, faster-growing Sun Belt is one of the biggest demographic stories in American history. Sometimes, physical geography clearly marks a region's boundaries. The massive Mississippi River acts as a clear divider, influencing the history and economy of everything to its east and west. Likewise, the Appalachian Mountains created a formidable barrier for early settlers, leading to distinct cultural differences between the coast and the interior. Physical barriers naturally create divisions and cultural differences. Not all regions are political or physical. Many are cultural or linguistic. Think about the distinct Southern accent, the way people talk in Boston, or the unique mix of French and American culture in the Cajun areas of Louisiana. Or consider food. The kind of barbecue you eat is drastically different depending on whether you're in Kansas City, Texas, or the Carolinas. These cultural regions highlight the rich internal diversity of the United States. Many U.S. regions are defined by their economic specialization. For example, Silicon Valley in California is defined by technology and innovation. The Great Plains are defined by large-scale farming. Texas is known for its oil. This specialization is great because it makes the national economy diverse and strong. But it also means that when a specific industry hits hard times, like when auto sales slump, the region specializing in it suffers greatly. Despite all the differences, the entire country is linked by transportation and infrastructure. Huge interstate highways, extensive railway systems, and major seaports allow goods from Midwest corn to Pacific tech to be moved easily across all the regions. This interconnectedness is constantly blurring the lines between regions, spreading culture and making the entire country a single, giant economic system. Ultimately, Understanding the regions of the United States is key to being an informed citizen. Whether you call yourself a New Englander, a Texan, or a Californian, your regional identity shapes your culture, your politics, and your outlook on life. The U.S. is truly a nation of regions, and recognizing this diversity is the only way to understand the full complexity, strengths, and challenges of the American experience.